And
he looked great.
Yeah.
He looked great. I texted Dana in the middle of the fight. I go, Mike Perry looks great. It's like he looked physically great. He looked too strong for Mickey Gall. His grappling, I mean, it's supposed to be striker versus grappler going into this fight, right? But Mike Perry's completely dominating every exchange, even on the ground. I mean, I thought he looked phenomenal. But I was one of those people that was like, this dude's going out there with his girlfriend. And again, I was one of those guys that it came up on very fast, right? This whole new girlfriend thing. It came up on very fast. Because as you said, it was a big part of his story, him and his wife. You know, they were always together and it was just different. But I'm happy the guy's happy. You know, some people need he needs that. He seems like a guy that needs to be happy.
It was so great. Like, I mean, he's such a character. I mean, you can't help but watch when he is fighting, right? It's the dancing on the way to the cage, it's dancing in the cage, it's the trash talk, it's his look, it's his girlfriend in the cage, and she's just like, you can tell she doesn't know what she's doing, and she's trying her best. She's trying to be more. You're doing great.
You're doing great. Like, hey, listen. I can be in the ring. You're doing great. Yeah. Somebody that Bob says that I'm slapping him. I'm like, Bob, give me some direction here. But she just said you're doing great, and Mike seemed to love it. But the crazy thing is, Mike's like giving all the instructions. He's like, put water on my neck right here. Give me a little drink. It's like Mike's cornered himself. Mike actually cornered himself. It was amazing.
Now, is it possible that Mike Perry's a genius because he got 2 cornermen for this fight? He had Bisping and Dominic Cruz there talking to him throughout the entire fight. This was the one time to try this out, right? This is the one time that you go cornerless because you got the announcers there. I mean, Corey was talking to Bisping in the middle of the fight as well. I actually think Perry's not getting enough credit for this. I
also think that Mike Perry understood that this was the fight to do that. There wasn't really much danger in getting watching the grappling, right? He understood that Gall wasn't experienced enough and didn't provide enough direction, right? So Mike Perry would do his thing. I think people forget, man, some of the wins that Mike Perry has on his resume. The bettors did, the odds makers did, the massive favorite going into the fight. But the general public was almost acting like Mickey Gall was supposed to run through this dude. Mike Perry just showed him that, hey, listen, you guys can get excited about this prospect. There's nothing to believe.
So he wins the fight. Not only does he win the fight, his post-fight interview was just incredible. It was reminiscent of Nick Diaz. I don't know if you remember when he.
But it was true though. He's saying everything that's true.
Yes, but
it's everything that's true. You don't always absolutely true.
No, I know.
Absolutely true.
It's
just
crazy.
So Mike Perry, because his delivery isn't polished, right? Like him and Nick is over there just talking, and Nick Diaz will talk, and like he'll say 1,000 words, and really he only needed maybe 20.
Right.
But Mike Perry's the same guy, you know, talk. But inside of that, inside of all those words, they're saying things that really are true, and they're making great points. But yeah, man, he doesn't like attack situations. So now he's gonna go find a team, and he's gonna go find some coaches. So maybe this was a savings situation, right? His girlfriend's name is Latori.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to pay Latori, right? He has to pay some coaches. He doesn't have to pay people. So it's like he can cheat corner them. It seems as though they're building their life together. So, you know, they're in this team together.
Would you suggest that he doesn't go find a team? I mean, it worked out really well.
No. Don't do this again. Because the fight's only going to get tougher. Imagine Latori out there when he's fighting Santiago Ponzinibbio. Right? Like, imagine that, right? Like, just a guy fighting with no actual guidance. You know, I know Mike feels like he said something to the effect of the coaches want to feel like they said something to help you win the fight. But what about when it's going bad and you need your coaches to kind of give you some direction in how you're supposed to change the way it's going, or just, you know, make adjustments? He wouldn't get that from the coach.
Okay, so then let me bring up this. Is it hypocritical on Nevada's part, a week after they tell me they're going to investigate Robert Drysdale for his handling of the Max Rothschild situation? We talked about that a lot last week. Is it hypocritical to now allow someone who has no experience as a coach corner, no MMA experience, be the lone corner person for a fight? Like, how could you be against how Robert, or at least look into how Robert handled that situation, and just license any person? Shouldn't there be some sort of, you know, and I'm asking you, you're the expert, you've been there, you've had to choose corner person. Like, shouldn't there be some kind of, I don't know, vetting process, some sort of process in place where people who actually have experience are put in these 3 slots?
I believe that while it was fun last weekend, it's not something that should be repeated by not only Mike Perry, but just anybody. You know, I think when you go into battle, you need experts in the field that you're competing with. People that know what they're doing. You need a jiu-jitsu guy. You need a boxing, you need a striking guy. You need coaches that know what they're doing and that can guide you. I thought, honestly, when he was saying all this, I thought somebody would step in, whether it would be from Nevada or the UFC, and be like, hey man, we don't know if this is right. We don't know if we're gonna allow this. But it happened. But I would probably want to see somebody step in if this starts to become a thing.
He's still a lot of fun. I hope he like. It seems like he's got a massive chip on his shoulder that people maybe troll him on social media, and he talks about the haters all the time. And Darren Till has been terrorizing him.
What's up with him and Darren Till, bro? Like, what's up with Darren Till, dog? Like, what is up with Darren Till?
I don't know how to answer that question. What is? I mean, you could go a million ways.
Darren Till is tripping, man. Darren Till is tripping.
Why?
Man, this dude's changing his profile picture every day. He is just terrorizing Mike Perry, bro. It is bad, man. He's after you, and he's after everybody else. Like, what is going on with Darren Till, man?
He's on fire on social media.
Darren Till needs to chill out, man. Somebody give Darren. He's got to fight. I was gonna say somebody give Darren Till something to do.
Yes.
Dude's getting ready for a fight in the midst of all that. He's just being like an absolute online terror, man. Like somebody
Have you
get
seen
Darren
when
Till.
he changes his face?
He changed his face on everything. He was Ben Askren the other day, man.
He did you guys. He did you and Joe and John Anik. When you're
Dog, what is going on with Darren Till, man? Like seriously, that's all I can think about every time I see him. I'm like, man, what's up with this dude?
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.
Nanoboost administered. This will restore. Surrender to my will.
being joined by the former UFC strawweight champion and the young woman who will be returning to action on July 11th, UFC 251, one of the most anticipated fights on that card. Rose Namajunas against Jessica Andrade 2, and she's back. Rose is back. It's been over 7 months since we last talked to her, and it's great to talk to her again. Rose, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, time flies, huh?
Yes, it has been a while. And happy belated birthday to you. I know you celebrated on Monday. Are you a big birthday person? Are you the type who goes crazy on your birthday?
Not normally. I mean, I did a workout today. We'll probably, me and my mom will go get some pedicures, and we just, just hang out with the family, but nothing too crazy.
And of course, this is all going on in the midst of this pandemic, which is still very much a thing. How difficult has it been to train for this fight?
Actually, not at all. I mean, so prior to the training camp, I actually, when I first fought Andrade, I wanted to make my gym into a garage. My garage into a gym, and then I just never got around to it. And so I finally did, and it just came in perfect timing for all of this. We got the mats in there, we got the weights, all of our gear, and that's pretty much all you need.
So I remember when we last spoke in November, that's when you told us that you were, in fact, going to continue with your career, that you got the love back. You were a little emotional talking about, the state of your career and whatnot. And now here we are 7 months later, almost 8 months, and you're about to fight. Obviously, you didn't plan on this happening, right? Hello, Pat. How are you?
Hey, what's up, man?
But I'm just wondering how you feel about the sport now. Like perhaps even extended layoffs, did it help you more? This is the longest layoff of your pro career. So I'm wondering how it's been for you.
Yeah, I love this sport. There's always things to gripe and complain about, but this is what I love to do, man. I'm a martial artist, and I'm just pretty much hitting my prime right now. So it's just like everything's like all of a sudden coming together. It seemed like everything was kind of falling apart, but now it's sometimes things gotta crumble down before you can put it back together again.
Before the Andrade fight, you mean that it was falling apart?
I think I don't know why, but ever since I turned 26, I think I dealt with a lot of just becoming an adult was kind of difficult. But yeah, just losing my title and all of that said, all of that ungratefulness and bitterness. I just went through a lot of different stages, and I just kind of grew up to understand something that it's just everything's temporary, So you just kind of have to live in the moment and enjoy yourself as much as possible,
Absolutely. Do you miss everything that goes into preparing for a fight, the fight itself, the Saturdays, the nerves, all that stuff? Do you miss that now?
Well, I'm in it, so I'm enjoying the process. Actually, this has been one of my more fun training camps. It's kind of weird. I'm actually the amount of days that I didn't look forward to training has been very seldom. So that's something that I'm very happy about.
What do you think the difference is? Is it just the layoff or something else?
It was the attitude, just being grateful, knowing that God is in control, and you just kind of have to show up and do your best, and that's really all you can ask for, And then once you're grateful, and once you truly feel grateful, not just knowing this cup of orange juice is delicious, and not everybody can have orange juice, or I'm just fortunate to have a cup of orange juice. It's actually feeling that gratefulness. That's a whole nother level of energy boost that you get that is hard to attain after a while, or when you're going through stuff. But if you can get there, man, it's the most powerful feeling in the world.
Do you miss being champion at all?
Of course, just being able to say that, that you have the belt. That's that's quite a feeling, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think I don't miss the way that I felt as a champion, but I do miss having that belt though,
When you
if that
say
makes
the
sense.
yeah, no, well, when you say the way that you felt when you were champion or as a champion, what did that feel like?
Felt a little bit like when you get up in front of everybody and it's your turn to to dance and but you ain't ready, you ain't got your moves right. You know what I mean? Everybody's looking at you. That's kind of how it felt like, where you just got this like you feel like everybody's staring at you and then you don't, you know, you just ain't ready for it. That's how it felt.
Do you think,
But
maybe in hindsight, like it happened earlier than you expected or had planned for? Like, you were 24, 23. No.
no, I expected to be the champion as soon as I came off.
Arriving at Shadowmere.
The Ultimate Fighter, you know. That's something that I've been working for, you know. But I just didn't really think past it. I didn't think, you know, what would it be like once I became the champion. It's like I just thought I had it all figured out, or not even. I didn't even really have it all figured out. I just that
When you
if that
say
makes
the
sense.
yeah,
It's like it's kind of weird. I'm actually like
plan on birthday person, are you been a while, and happy belated birthday to you as well. I know you celebrated on Monday. Are you a big birthday person? Are you the type who goes crazy on your birthday?
not normally. I mean, I did a workout today. We'll probably me and my mom will go get some pedicures and we just just hang out with the family, but nothing too crazy.
And of course, this is all going on in the midst of this pandemic, which is still very much a thing. How difficult has it been to train for this fight?
Actually, not at all. I mean, so prior to this training camp, I've actually when I first fought Andrade, I wanted to make my gym into a garage. I mean, I'm sorry, my garage into a gym, and and then I just never got around to it. And then so I finally did, and it just came in perfect timing for all of this. We got the mats in there, we got the weights, all of our gear, and that's pretty much all you need.
So I remember when we last spoke in November, that's when you told us that you were in fact going to continue with your career, that you got the love back. You were a little emotional talking about the state of your career and whatnot. And now here we are 7 months later, almost 8 months, and you're about to fight. Obviously you didn't plan on this happening, right? Hello, Pat. How are you? Thank you.
What's up, man?
Good to see you, my man. But I'm just wondering how you feel about the sport now. Like perhaps even the extended layoff, did it help you even more? This is the longest layoff of your pro career, so I'm wondering how it's been for you.
Yeah, it's I love this sport. There's always things to gripe and complain about, but this is what I love to do, man. I'm a martial artist, and I'm just pretty much hitting my prime right now. So it's just like everything's like all of a sudden coming together. It seemed like everything was kind of falling apart, but now it's sometimes things gotta crumble down before you can put it back together again.
Before the Andrade fight, you mean that it was falling apart?
I think I don't know why, but ever since I turned 26, I think I dealt with a lot of like just becoming an adult was kind of difficult. But yeah, just losing my title and all of that sad, all of that ungratefulness and bitterness. I just went through a lot of different stages, and I just kind of grown to understand some things that yeah, it's just everything's temporary, so you just kind of have to live in the moment and enjoy yourself as much as possible.
Absolutely. Do you miss like everything that goes into preparing for a fight, even the fight itself, the Saturday, the nerves, all that stuff? You miss that now?
We are strong.
Well, I'm in it, so
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the process. Actually, I'm this has been one of my more fun training camps. Like, it's kind of weird. I'm actually um
Attackers.
like the amount of days that I
30
didn't look
seconds.
forward to training has been very seldom, and so that's something that is I'm very happy about.
What do you think the difference is? Is it just a layoff or something else?
It was just an attitude, you know, just being grateful, knowing that God is in control, and you just kind of have to show up and do your best, and that's really all you can ask for, you know. And then once you're grateful, and once you truly feel grateful, not just knowing like, yeah, like this cup of orange juice is delicious, and you know, not everybody can have orange juice, or I'm just fortunate to have a cup of orange juice. It's like actually feeling that gratefulness. That's like a whole nother level of energy boost that you get that is hard to attain after a while, or when you're going through stuff. But if you can get there, man, it's the most powerful feeling in the world.
Do you miss being champion at all?
I mean, of course, you know, like just being able to say that, you know, that you have the belt. I mean, that's quite a feeling, you know. But yeah, I think I don't miss the way that I felt as a champion, but I do miss having that belt though. If that makes sense.
Yeah, well, when you say the way that you felt when you were champion, or as a champion, what did that feel like?
Felt a little bit like when you get up in front of everybody and it's your turn to to dance, but you ain't ready, you ain't got your moves right. You know what I mean? Everybody's looking at you. That's kind of how it felt like. Because it's like you feel like everybody's staring at you, and you don't, you know, you just ain't ready for it. That's how it felt.
Do you think maybe in hindsight, like it happened earlier than you expected or had planned for? Like, you know, you were 24, 23 now?
No, I expected to be the champion as soon as I came off the Ultimate Fighter, you know. That's something that I've been working for, you know. But I just didn't really think past it. I didn't think, you know, what would it be like once I became the champion. It's like I just thought I had it all figured out. Or I didn't even really have it all figured out. That was my goal, you know, and then I didn't really not only not prepare for after the fact, but I didn't really even have a playbook. I mean, there's no playbook to it. It's all just, and that's why you kind of just have to be yourself, and you just have to be honest and open to every experience every day, and just like whatever's in your destiny is your destiny, and you know, you just have to kind of do your best. Like, I have something that's special that nobody else has, you know. It's unique to me, and obviously, I mean, there's all kinds of great athletes, like, you know, all these fighters are special in their own particular way, but I just have to believe in my own unique abilities, and then just kind of see where it takes me, and then just, you know, use my experiences to help me with, you know, along every step.
Are you the kind of person, like, you watch the UFC events every Saturday? Does that help you get ready for these fights? Or are you the kind of fighter, and I've met many of them throughout the years, who don't watch anything, who don't really want to spend their Saturday night watching fights?
Like, while I was, for the longest time I wasn't, you know, I wouldn't, but lately I have been, and I actually have been enjoying the fights a lot lately. I've been a fan again, you know. Before I was, I barely watched any UFC, especially while I was champion. I was just like, I almost couldn't even turn it on for some reason. I just I get like too nervous or something watching it. Like, I start shaking. But now it's really fun to watch.
Why do you think you like it now?
I don't know. Just I don't know. I think it's just just be a different. Yeah, it's just a fight, you know. So I think I would just make it bigger than what it really was, you know, and really just like go in there, go and swing for the fences, have some fun, you know.
I wonder if you like the environment where there's no one really there. Like, it's just about the fight, right? There's no pomp and circumstance. There's no hoopla. It's just the fight in the empty arena. Does that kind of vibe, you know, mesh with you a little more?
If that one does, I mean, I think yeah, less is. I think that can be an advantage for me, just because I have experience with being on the Ultimate Fighter, and I didn't really have. It was just, you know what I mean? No, it was just a gym and our coaches. That's it. But I don't know. I don't know if that is quite, you know, that might be one element to it, but I think I just really been enjoying seeing. There's also been really good fights lately, you know. People have been. I think just you see like the outward expression of like our world and what's going on, and just people just going about their daily lives as much as possible, you know, regardless of what's going on, and I think that's kind of inspiring, you know.
So when you were coming back, of course, you were going to fight in April before the pandemic hit. The fight was Jessica Andrade, the rematch, the immediate rematch. Did you like that idea when it was presented to you to fight her right again, like right after you had just fought her?
Can you say the question again?
Oh yeah, sorry. So originally you were going to come back in April, right, on the Brooklyn card, 49. That was before the pandemic hit, and the fight is the same fight that's happening July 11th, but just kind of rematch. Did you like that idea of fighting her, in your next fight, immediate rematch, and not fighting someone else?
Oh yeah, to me it don't matter. Fight her, fight Whaley, fight Tatiana. Like my next fight, this fight in particular, like obviously I do want to beat Andrade and correct that mistake, but honestly I've put that in the past, and it's not like at one point I was like I'm gonna get this back, but to me it's just a fight,
Okay.
Now.
Right. So you say you put it behind you. Have you even watched the first fight in preparation for this one?
I've watched it a few times, yeah. Not like recently, but like in the beginning of the camp, yeah.
I still can't get over how good you looked in that first round. Like I still feel like, and correct me if you feel otherwise, that might have been like your best round as a UFC fighter. Do you agree with that? You were flowing
I don't
out
know.
there. I mean, your movement was just
Yeah.
incredible.
My striking did feel really good, but I think just based off of the way that I felt, I definitely felt like the way that I felt inside of, like, maybe not just visually like looking at it, but comparatively and from the outside, but the way that I felt as a fighter, I felt the best when I fought Joanna the first time. Like I just felt like a totally different experience that I never really. That's something that I've always like. I think all fighters have that feeling every once in a while, or every one fight, and then they try to chase that feeling again.
It's like a drug, right? You chase that dragon.
Yeah, exactly. It's a hell of a drug for sure. Yeah.
So
The feeling of invincibility,
right. Are you confident you can get back to that point?
Based on my training and based on just my mentality and where everything is kind of led up to this point, it's definitely the makings for a spectacular performance.
Okay.
And maybe I would say, hopefully the best performance yet. I mean, my skill and my abilities and even just the control over myself has been the best it's ever been this whole training camp. So yeah, I'm looking forward to performing.
And then the fight got pushed to May 9th, and then shortly thereafter, you had to withdraw from the fight. And we haven't heard from you really for the last couple months in terms of interviews and whatnot. What we understand is from your manager, Brian Butler, unfortunately you suffered a couple losses in your family, and I'm very sorry about that. And condolences to your family. Do you mind telling us what happened?
Yeah, so a couple family members, they're living in a hot spot where COVID-19 was, and yeah, they came down with it. They got put on ventilators, and shortly in a few days it just happened like that. Passed away. So yeah, it was for the longest time. I've always been. I mean, just as a fighter, we deal with. I mean, I had MRSA before. We deal with the work. We deal with we face death in the face all the time. Or just severe, serious injuries and things like that. And so, for the whole world to get shut down for a virus at first seemed like, what is this? We didn't even know it was real. And then it hit home, and it was like close to family. It was like, well, this is like, it scared me. It shook me up a little bit. And yeah, we just went through that process, and now I grieved a little bit, and then I feel better now. I feel like this is it still scares me, but at the same time it's like, so many other things scare me too. And so like I feel like God is calling me to do this. I read a Bible verse, and it just told me like there was like John 9:2-5, and it said that I must work the works while it is day, and there comes a night when no man can work. And when I read that, it just kind of hit me like, this is the time to work, because maybe there's going to be a day where nobody can work, and so this is what I'm called to do, and I got to do this.
How many days apart did they pass away? Was it on the same day or?
2 days. Oh, so like within a week.
Man, I'm really sorry. I mean, it's just a horrible thing, and everyone understood why you would withdraw. I mean, even it was also fresh. No one knew like how safe it was going to be or not. But did you just feel like you weren't in the right space mentally after suffering two tragedies like that to compete? Was that ultimately why you withdrew from the May 9th date?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I've seen fighters that have had like deaths in their family, and then they go out there, and everybody deals with death differently. You know what I mean? For me, it just wasn't a good idea. And honestly, like, this is like, it's been a great, in a way, it's been a reset for me. Like, it puts things into perspective. Like, I was just going into it before. I was like kind of just focused on trying to control everything around me and trying to make all these situations perfect and all this stuff. And then it was like everything just fell apart. You know, everything was looking good and then everything just fell apart. And then it was like, it just was a wake up call for me. Like, I can't control anything but myself. And that's what's the most important. And so even though it was very tragic, I learned a lot from it. And, you know, that's all we can do all we can do is just, you know, keep praying, and know that this life is temporary. Like, everything's temporary. So yeah, I just gotta, you know, hopefully, like, I mean, not everybody's the same, but for me, what helps me is believing in my higher power and knowing that I have a purpose, and this is my purpose right now. It's not gonna be my purpose forever, but this is what I'm doing right now, and I gotta make the most of it and enjoy it.
How much time off did you take?
I don't remember. I mean, it was all kind of a blur, you know. Like, I think even when even before that, when it shut down, everything got shut down. I was in pretty positive spirits, but just like the city itself was kind of gloomy and everything. So like once all that happened and everything, nobody knew what was going on. It was just like a blur of like a month of what felt like a month of just like kind of depression almost, you know.
Yes. And so once you started to get back, and was it a situation where like you told or your manager told you, okay, you know, we're open to being rebooked now? How did that work for you to get back on another card?
Yeah, so basically, yeah, we were just, I mourned a little bit and then sat around, you know, feeling all sad, and then got over that, and then started to just sitting at home and just thinking, like reconnecting, like getting spiritual again, and just sort of finding myself again. I started to like realize I got to do something, and that's why martial arts is so beautiful, because ever since I was little, you know, not having much control over my situation, but when I did go to martial arts practice, that gave me a sense of control over myself. And so if I can control myself, then no matter what's around me is happening, at least I can control my reactions to that. And so that's what it gave me, and always gave me a sense of power over my situation. And so that's kind of what happened again, is, you know, I was feeling sad and like, oh, this is not fair. And then I started training again, and then it felt good again. And then I read that Bible verse, and then it was like, well, I guess it's time to work. Jesus says so.
Have you always been religious, or is this something new that's come to you?
I think not. Yeah, it's always been. I think, you know, I think just like anybody, we all go through phases in our life. But for me, there's been times where I haven't, and then there's times where I've been through so many things that it's undeniable for me that this is what is my reality. It doesn't have to be everybody else's, but this is what I experienced. So more and more lately, it's been more important in my life. And I think not having a father, I think that played a lot into it. But for me at least, and that's why I always said the Lord's Prayer, because I would be speaking to my father.
Oh, really? I didn't mean
like my heavenly father.
Your heavenly father. Right. Oh, and I thought you only did that part of that second you want to fight. You always did that?
Always, yeah. Anytime I was in trouble, or anytime I needed something, I mean, and now it's just a daily practice. It's always I pray, and then I finish top with the Lord's Prayer, just in case I forgot something.
Right. Was that when you did it in the weigh-in for the second run-up? Was that the first time you did it in the weigh-in, or is it just you noticed it maybe because you're
No, that was the first time I did it at the weigh-in, because I felt like that whole experience was a whole spiritual experience itself. Just the whole build up to it, the week of the fight, afterwards, like just the whole Joanna Saga. I feel like that one day I'll write a book about that, because there was so many like weird coincidences and weird things that I don't believe in coincidences no more, you know. And what I felt in that moment is that's what I needed. I needed my father.
Wow. Do you want to write a book? Is that something you're planning on doing?
I want to, but man, I you know, priorities, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do.
You're still very young, so you got a lot more chapters to write. So
I think that's what it is too. I'm writing journals, so maybe I'll just keep my journals and then I'll do it later.
Have you always been a journal writer?
I think what made me really, when I started getting into Ultimate Fighter, I really relied on journaling a lot. But I think I've always been a writer. You know, when I got into the Ultimate Fighter, I really relied on that a lot, because I didn't have to talk to every day, and you know, he's my best friend, so I had to talk to somebody. You know, obviously I had the girls on the team and stuff, but you know, I think it's a little different, and you know, I think that's very special.
Well, yeah, that's fun. People are trying to beat you in the competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Quite a little different. Good to see Pat. Good to see that he's doing well. So you are fighting on this card in Abu Dhabi, and they just had this string of fights in Las Vegas. How did you feel about being on the quote unquote Fight Island card as opposed to one that's just a few hours away from you in Las Vegas? Did you like the idea of going overseas?
Hell no. But at the same time, it is kind of cool. Yeah, after going to Brazil, I was like, I never do that, but then I always say that, and then I end up, like I said, it's I feel that's something that I just think it's a perfect timing, So I think the timing's better than is more important than the location. Plus, yeah, we got offered in Vegas a little bit later, and I didn't know what was gonna happen with this whole stuff going on, and so and then I read that Bible verse, and that's what Jesus says. So I felt it in my heart, like this is what I need to go do.
30 seconds.
Yeah,
remaining.
Abu Dhabi's kind of far, but it's kind of weird because like prior to when the fight was still on before, they were talking about it being in the Middle East before it ended up being in Florida, and so it just almost seems like maybe that's maybe that's where I'm getting pulled to for some reason, we don't really know why, but.
10 seconds.
I don't know. I think it's cool, and just me being more spiritual. And I was like, it's kind of spiritual stomping grounds, and there's Jerusalem ain't far. There's all the Middle East. There's just a lot of tension going on over there. It's just but it's so cool. Like I've also been learning a little bit about Islam, and it's pretty interesting actually, like diving down deep into it too.
Wow. Are you doing this all by yourself, or with family, or do you have someone teaching you and guiding you?
No, just by myself.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I be going down the rabbit holes, but it's also just it's just something I like to do, and I think it's just a never-ending journey,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my understanding is you guys have to fly to Las Vegas and you take a test there, and then you quarantine, and then you get on a charter plane, and when you land in Abu Dhabi, you take a test, and then you go to the hotel and take another test, and then another test after the weigh-ins, and then a fifth test after the fight, and there's all these procedures, and it's like you're living in a bubble. Have you wrapped your head around all this stuff? And also, in addition to that, you're fighting in the middle of the night or very, very early in the morning, right? You'll be fighting at like 7 a.m. or so, or 6:30 or so, to cater to the North American audience. How do you feel about all the other stuff that comes along with fighting overseas?
I feel obviously that can seem daunting, but I'm fine with it. I have faith that everything's gonna be okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I will say this. When I was wondering about is the heat, and I seen a picture of them making the cage outside, and I'm like, are they gonna have this outside? This is crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'll be an experience. So I'm just like, God, I'm gonna take care of my part. I'm gonna control myself, but the external situations I can't control, none of that. So.
My understanding is it won't be outside. It will be like in an enclosed area.
Okay. I'm ready
the,
for whatever. So
yeah. Will you stay on like Mountain Time Zone, because you'll technically be fighting at like 9 p.m. Denver time as opposed to 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi time? Does that just make more sense?
It makes more sense because I don't even think we'll have enough time to not acclimate, but like switch over times, because it's only we'll probably get there like 7-8 days before.
I talked to Zhang Wei Li recently, and she said that she wanted to fight you next. Hello, Pat. How are you?
Pretty good. Question.
Yes.
We're flying all the way to Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
Yas Island. They're going to close up the whole island. We get tested 5-10 times while we're there, and we have to stay in our room the entire time. So then what's awesome about fighting on Fight Island?
That's a good question, Pat.
Like we're not going to, I don't think that we're going to be, like we're not going to get to see a cougar in the passenger seat of a Rolls Royce, or like we're not going to, from what I'm hearing, we're not be able to experience, like we're going to fly all the way over there just to stay in a hotel room and then go have a fight and then fly back. Like, why is fighting on Fight Island magical?
Well, I don't know if it's magical. The main reason why they had to have it is so that international fighters could fight, right? So like this fight couldn't happen.
Okay, but I have a question though, because wasn't there international fighters at the Apex Center? Like,
so yes, there was a Dan Hooker who just fought this past Saturday, right? And so
Yeah.
what he had to do was he had to get like a special visa, which is fine. He got it. Now he has to go back home and quarantine for 14 days in some government issued hotel. And he was down to do that, but I don't know. I think that was because, and I'm not an expert at this right now, but
Right.
New Zealand, very low cases, if not zero cases at this point. Brazil, for example, your opponent is from
High,
Brazil,
yeah.
is very high right now. So I don't think that they could come into the States and have these fights. And same with the European fighters as well. But yes, I don't think it's magical or anything like that. It's just more to have the international fighters. And that's why I was wondering if you would have preferred to fight in Vegas.
This is going to be magical though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you're gonna have
that's-
you're gonna have your own gym and restaurant and all that stuff, and the food will all be prepared. But it's like basically a bubble of a 10-mile radius, which is my understanding, and you can't leave that bubble, and no one can enter the
Yeah.
bubble. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Mm-hmm. Can I see that charger?
Oh, just a couple minutes. Why is your phone about to die?
No. But I'm just doing that just in case because for some reason the light just dimmed down a little bit.
Okay. I was just wondering, I spoke to Zhang Weili recently, and she told me before your fight got announced that she wanted to fight you next. Was there ever any talk of that fight happening as opposed to this one?
No. Like, obviously, prior to, wait, was it like a long time ago there was, but like, I mean, that was when I was still not fighting.
Okay. Do you think that is this fight basically for the title?
I mean, that would seem only obvious, but like, yeah, I'm not thinking about that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'd love to fight her one day, but you know, she's a true martial artist and but yeah, but yeah, I'm only thinking about this fight right now. And yeah, if something happens with Andres, she steps in and great, but you know what I mean? Like, this is what's happening right now, you know?
Did you see her fight against Joanna?
I did, yeah.
Did you think as highly of it as everyone else?
That's the thing, like, okay. It was a great fight, and like Joanna, both of them is some savages for sure. However, the only gripe that I have about it being like the best fight ever or whatever is that people always say that. Like, I don't think that that's a good thing. Like, I don't think that that's a good thing to have the best fight ever based on how people look at the best fights ever. They always, like, if you think about the best fights, when people say that, it's always a lack of defense. Like, people is getting hit a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's not the best fight ever. If you look at my fight against the second fight, you know, because that went all 5 rounds, you know, my head movement was shoot, you know what I mean? So like, I mean, I got a little bit of a busted lip, but I mean, other than that, or maybe I don't remember, like a little scratch here and there, but that was mostly just from me slipping the punches like perfectly like out of the way. So to me, it was an awesome display of art or heart, and I was like truly impressed with both of them, but at the same time, like, only so much, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't the best fight ever. Like, to me, I feel like I look at fights differently than most of fans do. Like, even the last fight last night, that was an amazing fight, but I wouldn't say that's the best fight of the year, that Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker, because they was just getting hit, like taking so much damage. And to me, like, it's cool because like to see the heart, but like I like to see like skill too, you know. I like to see like, you know, defense and on top of like just outworking somebody and just beating them up, you know what I mean?
You don't want to see Rock'em Sock'em Robots. You want to see people
not all the time.
Right.
Like a little bit, but I mean, to me, like sometimes that gets played out, you know.
Yep.
If that's the case, Leonard Garcia is the greatest fighter ever.
That's right.
Like I think like to me, like good head movement and like footwork and also being able to just like you know, it was the greatest fight ever recently was the Josh Emmett versus the other dude, I forgot, with the hair.
Burgos.
Yes, dude, that was like a beautiful display of like both two different styles. Like that was, to me, that was like the fight of the year, you know, better than, and yeah, I don't know, but
no, I hear what you're saying 100%. Sometimes we value too much of these brawls and there's no technique, there's no defense or anything like that. So I can understand what you're saying 100%. By the way, before I let you go, just curious, you haven't tweeted since November of 2019. Any particular reason why?
Oh, I think Twitter just kind of bores me, you know. I don't even really post that much anyways. So yeah, like just the whole, like the fact that you can't delete your Facebook or you can't change your name, and because like the government has your identity like in it, like that creeps me out. So like I'm already too deep in anyway, so it doesn't matter. But like to me, it's like all the social media stuff, like I have to for my job, like because obviously like the more that I post, the better. And I do like genuinely want to connect with my fans. Like I think it's a great way to like communicate, but at the same time, it's like, man, it's overwhelming sometimes. Like you got to monitor what you get dragged into, and all of a sudden you're just on that all day, you know.
I did love a few months ago you wrote something really nice about your brother, who I've gotten to know on social media, about your relationship over the years and how that's evolved. And it seems like you guys are in a great place as well. And I believe he's going to become, I know he was an amateur fighter, but he's going to go pro. Or has he gone pro yet?
Not yet. I think that's what he's planning on. He was going to just recently before all the pandemic started, but
welcome to Blizzard World. Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
Getting on there right now.
Okay. All right, Rose.
Hello?
Well, yep.
Wait, hello?
I lost you there for a quick second, but now I got you back.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to thank you for the time. It's so great to have you back. I think the fans, I mean, they really missed you. I'm sure you've seen that. People have really missed seeing you fight. Doug Rose. They're all very excited. It's one of the most anticipated fights on the UFC 251 card. And it's great to see you smiling. It's great to see you inspired and in a good place. And I personally can't wait to see you back on July 11th. So again, belated happy birthday to you. Thank you so much for the time. My best to your family and good.
I will strike our enemies where they do not expect.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
How do I trust a man who is half machine?
The heart of a man still beats inside me.
You seem well, Genji.
I am a different man now. I am whole.
Nine.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing.
Let's check in.
This fight is not over.
Junkrat primed and ready.
This fight is not over.
Reinhardt at your service.
Barriers on. I am claiming the objective. Barriers on.
The dragon becomes
I am taking the
I
objective.
will never surrender.
The objective is mine. Be quick about it.
We still need you.
I am capturing the objective. Try and
Get in there.
60 seconds.
Огонь по готовности. Big boy. I'm even stronger.
Onwards to victory.
You're powered up. Get in there.
This is not the end.
Objective A captured.
Get in there.
Escort the payload.
Привет. I am moving the payload. Falling between.
Start your engine. Do something.
Perseverance is the key. Get in there.
Onwards to victory.
60 seconds remaining.
No.
Barriers on me. Is that all we've got? We're out of time. Give it everything you've got. Primary objective. Move the payload. Go.
10 seconds.
Still need running out of time.
Ready for battle. Gravitas my ultimate. Gravitas surge. Огонь по готовности. Get in there. Don't shy. Hit me. Do something. That's my turn. This is my turn. Thank you. It's not over yet. I'm just understood. Yes, John. I'm on fire. I will lead us. Thank you.
Being at 30 seconds remaining.
Merci. Fire in the hole! Onwards to victory.
Make every second count!
Very well.
Tracer here.
Protect the payload.
Let's get you back in the fight.
Tell me how this feels. Round 1 complete. Score 2-0. Switching sides. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
Understood.
Yes.
Hi.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
9. No.
Is everyone ready?
9. No.
Thanks for that. Hi. Thanks.
Привет. Слава.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Enemy target located. Working on. Thanks.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
Got it. Here it comes. Thanks for that. Focus with me. Go. I should get you. Get in there. You're powered up. Get in there. Victory.
Hey there.
Do something.
Thank you.
Being activated.
Take it. Group off here.
Nail.
Thank you.
Enemy radar contact. What needs? Thanks for that.
Get healed. No. 9. No.
Executing flight maneuver.
We must hold the payload.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Duplicating honor.
Defeat.
ignorance as well. You're just not call it out. Typically when we're we feel like they're a homegrown team, but don't worry about it. That's just pure ignorance. You know that they have one, right? Still, you actually really mentioned that. Throughout the entirety of the game, I actually cast plan whether to go and find a few pastries for us. How convenient. Yeah, how convenient. So I have a blindfold. Moira all this is Lucio. Oh, this is good. Support all this. Okay. And then you see anything? You sure? Sure. Even I can keep going. Hold up. That's important here. Now, we could be a coach. Now, here's the thing. I actually get pages from different countries. Here's prediction of random sort. And you said, though, I was told Sideshow did say that Denmark was going to win. Get rid of that. No, don't need that. No. Things are working on the process, which is based on how well country from France. It's not. You know, I'm actually really the entirety of the game. I actually asked Brand to go find a few pastries. You said you base your predictions based on the pastries and. How convenient. Yeah, how convenient. So you have a blindfold. This is good. Okay. All this. Get the blindfold on. Quick. Get the blindfold on. How did it go? Okay. And then you see anything? Oh, sure. You sure? I'm sure we got a belt. Hold. That's delicious. I actually get pages from different countries. What is these? Are just a random assortment of. I was told that these were pastries. Ready? Paper. Get rid of that. Don't need that more. I'm sorry. No, we made a mess. I think so. That oats in it. I don't really want to go to the composition. Okay, that's pretty wrong. Okay, so John, we're going to listen to you. You said you paid pastries and red pastries like that. So we do a little taste test. So that's not all authentic. I'm loving the flavor of that. I think that's delicious all the way to the top. How did you know? Are you sure you can? I'm pretty full like that. It's tasty, it's light, it's delicious. Okay, so what do you on that? This one, some of the paper, actually, it's sort of consistency on it. Yeah, thank you. Okay, ready? Paper. That's like paper. Okay, and I hope you're ready for this one because it's a mess. It's a mess. I think what you think of this. That oats in it. I'm not really on. Pretty good. That's going all the way. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, United States Maggie here first. All the way. God bless beautiful country. Let's get ready for the green card. All right, we're going to send it over to Danny Livin's got the head coach of the standing by. Danny, please take it away. Thank you guys so much. That segment was pretty funny. Kasoris, what did you think? Did you enjoy that? I think it was great. I thought the Dutch pastry wasn't that Dutch. Yeah, the South Korean pastry was. I don't know. But anyways, Kasoris, Netherlands, congratulations on making it to the World Cup. How does it feel to be here? Well, I'd say the best for last year. Okay, and I hope you're ready for this. 10 players, we have 0 Overwatch League players in our roster, and I think we're part way to the Atlanta Rain. You might need to hold it. So it just feels really good to be able to keep ourselves. And also, Netherlands is one of like the biggest. How was your preparation like for you and your team? Pretty good. Pretty good. We actually going all the way. Just like God bless beautiful country. Let's get ready for the green card. All right, we're going to send over to Danny Livin's got the head coach of the Netherlands standing by. Danny, please take it away. All the players doing okay. Thank you so much. That segment was pretty good. I see them right there. Did you really feel it? Great. Dutch pastry wasn't that Dutch. Yeah, the South Korean pastry was. I don't know. But anyways, Kasoris, Netherlands, congratulations on making it to the World Cup. How does it feel to be here right now? Good luck to you. And also, what would you guys have to do in order to win it all? Win the finals, take home the victory trophy.
I think we just need to play our own game. We have a really good player team in our house.
And also, Netherlands is one of the biggest surprises in the World Cup. What was your preparation like? Great job. Thank you so much, Kasoris. Best back to you guys.
I fear they may have bad choice sending it back to the guys. But we're going to try to keep it on the rails here. So as you guys saw at the beginning of the show, South Korea could beat Denmark 3-0, and then we're going to have Netherlands facing off against France coming up next.
I think that's one of the Kasoris. What they talked about the fan, all the players doing okay. Are they like, when they look right now, because I see them right there, how are they feeling right now?
This year, all players are really high level against South Korea. I'd like to win both of them. They played in France last year, and we lost to France actually there in the first game. So look at them live on stage.
Well, good luck to you. And also, what would you guys have to do in order to win it all? Not in the finals. Take home the victory trophy.
I think we just need to play our own game. We have really good players, leave no doubt. And yeah, that's basically it. We just have to not look at the names and play our own game.
It's a very powerful character in the scenes. He's elevated. Great job. Thank you so much, Kasoris. Best back to you guys.
I think he's a huge factor. I fear that you may have made a bad choice sending it back to the guys. But we're going to try to keep it on the rails here. So as you guys saw at the beginning of the show, South Korea could beat Denmark 3-0, and then we're going to have Netherlands facing off against France coming up here. This is certainly something I'm excited to see. And to be the fact that Netherlands is phenomenal. When they look at Netherlands, you can make this in a row. I don't feel enough. This year's team, Dragon season 1 all over.
I genuinely can't very Netherlands don't play very well. Two players that I really want to pay attention to. Also, for me, it's a long game. Yes, and we've been facilitating the league play for France. There's not just had. I do want to mention as well, like I said, the coach that was as well. Yeah, that's right. Key that Netherlands well. We don't do that. Don't carry and he plays great in that way. So it's a very powerful character in the bottom. He's elevated these players far. He's really leading. He's bringing so much attention to getting the team that soon can sort of do whatever he wants. So Netherlands are supporting this World Cup. I think it goes to show you right. That's soon a big experience. There's so much players that have not necessarily had that on stage experience. Yesterday, so many of the Overwatch players have had throughout the last 2 years. This is certainly something I'm excited to see. And I think that's the reason why France has been phenomenal. The USA is I think that Netherlands could make this in a row. I can feel it. This first game looked very good. Dragon season 1 all over. I know we're over here. I don't know if we want to see this in a row. Does France legit have a shot to win this whole thing with how they play? I think it's the least they've got a chance to win the whole thing. We don't South Korea. South Korea plays on the bar. The USA can't have the key characters while we're we don't see like USA still on the carry. He's very powerful. He's like on that bar all the time on that. They set up a really nice defense. It means that lead on the ball. So much attention on the team. Yeah, and we also do what we want. We got China upon off. That's soon something about the winner of this round is the France time. I think France that is what many awards league and we all there's much more to tell. Are we doing it? Whoever's going to touch next? It's always kind of been the piece. So where are we at right now? The page has decided where we at right now. We're taking look very dominant. Oh, I'm sorry. I know that we were over here
A
Robert,
Yes.
good job, man. Congratulations, big time. Dude, getting married.
Summer of Robert as well.
I mean, Robert has completely blown up, right? He is now building the graphics for the greatest show on ESPN, and also he's getting married. I mean, hey, dude's he's kind of outpunting his coverage here a little. Allowed for him to stay in that fight because he was taking some big shots. Dude, for one round, he fought great. Fourth round.
Thinks Dustin this weekend for the past few months got engaged yesterday. Mazel tov to him. How about that?
Good job, Robert.
Yes.
Good job, man. Congratulations.